জয় জগদীশ হরে, জয় জগদীশ হরে, জয় জগদীশ। বন্দেহং শ্রী গুরু শ্রীযুতা পদকমলং শ্রীগুরুং বৈষ্ণবাংশ শ্রীরূপং চাক্রজাতং সহগনা রঘুনাথান্বিতং ত্বং সজীবং সাদ্বৈতং সাবধূতং পরিজনা সহিতং কৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য দেবম শ্রী রাধা কৃষ্ণ পদান সগণ ললিতা শ্রী বিশাখান্বিতাংশ্চ শ্রী কৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য প্রভু নিত্যানন্দ শ্রী অদ্বৈত গদাধর শিবাসাদি গৌরভক্তবৃন্দ শ্রী কৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য প্রভু নিত্যানন্দ শ্রী অদ্বৈত গদাধর শিবাসাদি গৌরভক্তবৃন্দ শ্রী কৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য প্রভু নিত্যানন্দ শ্রী অদ্বৈত গদাধর শিবাসাদি গৌরভক্তবৃন্দ Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna
Om Hare Hare नमः यादवाय माधवाय केशवाय हरे नमः यादवाय गोपाल गोविंद मधुसूदन मदन मोहन गोपाल गोविंद मधुसूदन हरि मदन मोहन हरि हराय यादवाय Hare Krishna, Krishna Yadavaya Bhattaraguna Jiva Gopala Bhatta Bhattaraguna Sai Sai Jabe Braje Kailabas Sai Sai Braje Kailabas Radha Krishna Nitya Krishna Prabhupada Radhe Radha Rama Bhatta Sameva Janame Janame Ma Hare Namah Radhamaya Namah Hare Hare Radhamaya Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavanscha Rutam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathannitam Tvam Sajeevi Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavari Paschatya Desatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Kalachandji Radha Kalachandji Radhe. Jaya Radha Kalachandji Radha Kalachandji Radhe. Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe. Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe. Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Nitai Gora Haribo. Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna, everybody. Welcome back to the Sunday Feast program. So we're actually resuming the Sunday Feast program, but this is like a first trial run. And then next week, one more time, we'll do the same thing, and then we'll adjust the program based on how things pan out so that we can go back to the original Sunday Feast programs that we used to have before and actually develop it further from there, because the idea was to develop it into a full Sunday festival program. So it's not just that we do the program in the night or in the evening part, but we do the program all day long. So different groups can take advantage because there are different demographics that actually prefer the program to be done in a different way. So we can do all of those in one day at different times and have everybody feel satisfied that, you know, their culture is being recognized and things are being done according to culture. Good example is, you know, we used to do Tulsi Puja every day in the evenings. We'll do that, but some people don't understand what it is, why you're worshiping a tree, you know, like that. Newcomers who are coming in from Western culture, they wonder what's happening, and we don't want to shock them like that. We want an introductory program that they can actually hear about the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in a way that will allow them to become fully Krishna conscious and also go back to Godhead, take initiation, go back to Godhead like that. So today's program, and the program thus far is that for 15 minutes we do a sit-down bhajan, but today we had few people, so we didn't do a sit-down. But normally if there's a larger crowd, we do a sit-down bhajan at 5 o'clock. 5:15, a class is given. At 6 o'clock, we give some announcements, and after the announcements, Kirtan starts again. And so very nice to have you here today, Daru Krishna Prabhu. So maybe if you don't mind, you can lead that Kirtan. That'll happen from straight after the announcements. And that Kirtan goes on till 7 o'clock, and that's when the curtains actually open. The curtains will open straight after class. And this is because our spiritual advisors told us, because they experienced it themselves, that when they're giving class and the curtains are open, a lot of people don't understand the importance of the class, so they go straight up to the deities, and they meet the deities, and then they leave. And the class is a message from the Supreme Lord. This is the Supreme Lord's message. The Lord wants us to hear that message, and that's why He manifested the ISKCON movement. At the same time, all of the books that Prabhupada wrote was for the purpose that we would all chant Hare Krishna nicely and go back home, back to Godhead. So that's the message of the class. And if people don't hear that, then they think that the deity worship is independent of the chanting of the holy names of God, which it's not. And so they get to hear the correct understanding of Krishna consciousness. And then we can reopen the curtains so that people don't come in and out for deity darshan. They come in and out to listen to the class. And then at 6 o'clock, the curtains open and announcements are made. And then after the announcements, Kirtan happens, and the Arti starts at 6:30, as we know, here. And so 6:30, there's an Arti. 7 o'clock, the curtains closed, and we have Tulsi, we have Nrsimha Pranam, Lord Nrsimha Dev's prayers. And then after that, we serve the prasadam out, like that. And then some devotees stay back because they like to do more kirtan. They can do that at one time earlier on, during that time when the curtains were closed between 7 and 8 because the deities are being dressed. Some devotees ran a japa session. They they spoke about the holy names of the Lord and had people sit down and do japa. And that's fine as well. And then at 8 o'clock, the curtains open again. And that time people do a larger sit-down bhajan anyway. And that goes on till typically 8:45, 9 o'clock, something like that. And then people go home for the next day, which is generally a work day for most people. Okay, so we'll start with the with our chanting of Jai Radha Madhava for this class. So Janardhan Prabhu, you want to play the again? Are you okay with that? Yes? Okay. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravana Chari Yamuna Tiravana Chari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravana Chari Yamuna Tiravana Chari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Haribol, 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 Nitai Gaura, Haribol, Nitai Gaura. Nitai Gauranga, Haribol, 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 Nitai Gaura, Haribol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivrajagacharya Stotra Satoshi Shimad. His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaya Charanarvindam Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai ISKCON Founder Acharya, BBT Founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita Yatha Rupa Ki Jai. Grantaraja Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapurana Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Kalachandji Ki Jai. Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Glories to you, Srila Prabhupada. Please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam yena bhutale. Swam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guruho Sri Yuta Padakamalam. Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha. Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam. Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitan. Krishna Chaitanya Devam. Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita. Sri Vishakhan Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate. Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari. Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha Kalpa Turubhischa Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha. Patitanam Pavnebhya Vaishnavebhya Namo Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Peshtaya Bhutale. Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshutarine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Brinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita Yatharupa ki Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavata Mahapurana ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. So welcome everybody to the resumption of the Sunday Feast program for this year. As you know, in September of 2022, on the day of Radhastami, we'll be celebrating the 50th anniversary of this temple. It is the 50th anniversary of the installation of Sri Sri Radha Kalachandji. This temple was actually bought a year prior to that in 1971, and then it was developed. And at that time, this was the basketball court for the Christian church that owned this property, and the church was, as you can see, the other building is a lot taller. It was the church building. And Srila Prabhupada wanted this to become the temple. This is what is called the southwest quadrant of the temple. And the southwest is where the king lives, and the Lord is, of course, the king. He's the emperor, actually. So he wanted this to become the temple, and so this whole structure was set up at that time in a way. At that time, there were cinder blocks around here. If you see the old photographs, they weren't these paintings, and there wasn't this skyline, and it was a little bit of a different floor, but the altar was right there. And Srila Prabhupada would sit at the back, where we see the swing, is where Srila Prabhupada would sit. And then later on, the temple was developed, and particularly when Tamal Krishna Maharaj became the GVC for this place. He arranged this place to be redone, and these wonderful pillars were brought in. This nice skyline was made, and then a very, very famous painter's name is B.G. Sharma painted these wonderful paintings. These are his largest paintings in the world. He is no more, and therefore these paintings are very, very, very expensive now. These are the windows to the spiritual world. So next year, in September of 2022, when we have Radhastami, we'll be celebrating the 50th anniversary of the installation of Sri Sri Radha Kalachandji. And so as we go, we're going to be developing programs that will be more and more grand in their feature, so that we can reach out to people and let everybody know that they have an opportunity in their lives to practice Krishna consciousness. So what is it that they have an opportunity for in their lives? I was thinking in today's class I'd speak a little about that, so that we can be properly centered in our understanding of what is Krishna consciousness, so that we can understand why Krishna consciousness is very important for everybody, and how we can actually encourage everyone to become Krishna conscious, and so that they can become happy in their lives. And it's actually the only way that one can truly become happy, because otherwise, as Lord Krishna describes in the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, that Lord Vishnu, who's lying in the causal ocean, when he breathes out, these wonderful universes come out of the pores of his skin. Each of those universes is very, very large. This is actually the smallest one, and it's actually 400 billion miles across, just in the center where the planetary systems are. And then there are other layers that actually make it into many, it's described as many nantillions of miles across. Nantillions come after millions, then come billions, then come trillions, quadrillions, pentillions, septillions, quintillions, septillions, octillions, then come nantillions. So you can imagine 1 nantillion miles is how big it is. And this is many, many nantillion miles wide across. And this is the smallest of the universes. And in this universe, there are innumerable planets, and there are 3 major planetary systems. There are actually said to be 14 divisions amongst them. This is one of them that we're in, and we're the lowest planet in that system. After us, the hellish planet starts. So all these are descriptions given in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And so what happens is that there are days of the person who is the creator. His name is Lord Brahma. And so in the night, what happens of Lord Brahma is that these living entities re-enter into a sleep state, and then they're reawakened in the morning. And when they reawaken, the energy with which they reawaken is called Kalashakti. Kalashakti. And Kalashakti in the Vedas is described as the energy of ignorance. So basically we're born into ignorance, and as a result of which we think to ourselves that the purpose of life is actually to make money, to become wealthy, to become famous, and all the wonderful things that we're generally taught to do in this world. But actually the purpose of life is to go back home to our original home, which is in the spiritual world called Goloka Vrindavan. And so what we should do in this life is to make a preparation so that we can go back. This world is described in the scriptures as Durg. Durg means a prison house. So it's actually a place of reformation. We do belong to the spiritual world. We strayed away from the spiritual world because we wanted to experience what life would be like separated from the Supreme Lord, separated from Krishna. And so the opportunity is given by Krishna to again learn about spiritual life, to learn about love of God, and then return home, because there we have great freedoms. We can do things there that we cannot do here. So these paintings that you see on the walls are actually windows to the spiritual world. This is like we're looking out at the spiritual world and witnessing what is happening in the spiritual world. And amazing, amazing things happen there, because each person has amazing capacity to do so many wonderful things. Like, just give you a very small example. The painting that you see where I'm pointing to here, after the painting on this side, the next painting on that wall is a painting of what is called Govardhan Leela. So in this Leela, what had happened was that Lord Krishna, when he was younger, he advised his father and mother that it would be better than doing puja of Indra would be to do puja of Govardhan Hill. And so the parents, after a while, became convinced. So they did a grand service to Govardhan Hill, and they created, an arrangement for him to have lots and lots of food. Actually, so much food, they said, that within 20 miles of that area, every grain of food had become used up. The waters had been dried out from the rivers so that he could drink as much water as he wanted. Amazing, amazing amount of food had been served, and he's just a devotee he's just a devotee. Janardhan, you might sit here. Come and sit on this side, Janardhan, so that she can sit there. Mataji, please sit there. Please sit next to your husband. There's space here, right here. That's Janardhan's sister that's sitting there, Leela, so she's okay. She's happy. Yeah, they're all happy. So what happened was Lord Indra became very angry and decided to punish Krishna and to punish Govardhan. So he created a huge system of rain, and lightning and things like that, and he flooded the place so much, it was not possible to live in the village. So Krishna, who was at that time a very young boy, lifted with his little pinky the hill of Govardhan, which at that time was huge, huge hill. He lifted it with his finger for 7 days so that it became an umbrella, and he could shelter the residents of Vrindavan. And then when he did that, he created 7 planetary systems below the hill, and all of the devotees went there and enjoyed in those planetary systems for 7 days. And he made it such that they became 7 days of Brahma. So you can imagine how long that period became. So they were like there for the longest period of time, totally enjoying themselves and, being whatever they want to be and with complete freedom. So this is what happens in Golok Vrindavan. Everybody has amazing capacity to do so many sweet things. Here, we tend to be a little restricted. You have to wake up in the morning, you have to brush your teeth, you have to take a shower, you have to find some work to do so you can earn some money, you have to eat food, you have to breathe, so many things you have to do, you have no choice. If you don't do those things, unfortunately, life will become very miserable. So even if you live in the forest, you still have to wake up, you have to go to sleep, you have to tend to your food, this, that, and the other. In the spiritual world, it's not like that. Everybody is self-sufficient. They can go without eating food for billions of years, nothing will happen. They can stop breathing for billions of years, nothing will happen to them. Not that they do, but this is the type of thing that happens. They don't need the sun and moon to brighten things up. Their own bodies have so much effulgence, this, that, and the other. So they're just amazing things. So Krishna is trying to actually encourage us. Why are you suffering in the material world? Come back home, back to Godhead. So today's class, I was going to talk about why Srila Prabhupada set up this movement. He set up this movement so that, in short, so that we will chant Hare Krishna and we will associate with devotees and go back home, back to Godhead. This is essentially the purpose. He asked the questions, why do you think I wrote my books? And the devotees around him were very intelligent devotees. And they were answering so that there'd be knowledge, so that people can come to know about Krishna. And he kept shaking his head, no, that's not why I wrote my books. And so they kept saying so many things, and he kept shaking his head. So finally they gave up, and Prabhupada said, I wrote these books so that you will chant Hare Krishna. I mean, what a powerful statement. This tells you the power of the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. It's written on the board here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is a verse that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wrote. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. He came to show us how we can become nice devotees of Krishna and go back home, back to Godhead. Otherwise, it's very difficult to understand why Krishna does some of the things that he does. And he came to explain what it is that Krishna actually came to do. So as a result, I think she's trying to make sure that you also stay with your husband. Everybody's musical chairs, sitting in the right place, right time. It's Krishna's arrangement, actually. So he wrote 8 verses called the Sikshashtaka. In those 8 verses, he explained everything there is to know about spiritual life, about how to live life properly, and how one can become perfected in life so that we are very happy in our lives. So you can sit down if you like. If you like to sit on the chairs there, on the seats there, please be comfortable, okay? Be happy. So this is the first of the verses he wrote, and I'm just going to chant the verse and then the translation, and then, we'll talk about this. And if you want to chant along with me, you can chant along. Some of you know this verse. So this is the verse. Cheto darpanam marjanam bhavamahadavagni nirvapanam shrekeirva chandrika vitaranam vidyavadu jivanam anandam buddhivadhanam pratipadam purnamita svadanam sarvatmasnapanam param vijete Shri Krishna sankirtanam. Okay, so this is the verse. I'm going to just do something. The light's not working very well here. We'll do what is called a transliteration, which means for every word in this verse, we will translate it into English. So if you don't mind, you can repeat after me. Chetaha, of the heart. Darpana, the mirror. marjanam, cleansing, bhava, of material existence, mahadavagani, the blazing forest fire, nirvapanam, extinguishing, shreyaha, of good fortune, Kairava, the white lotus, Chandrika, the moonshine, Vitaranam, spreading, Vidya, of all education, Vadhu, wife, Jivanam, the life, Ananda, of bliss, Ambudhi, the ocean, Vardhanam, increasing, Pratipadam, at every step, Purnamrita, of the full nectar, Asvadanam, giving a taste, Sarva, for everyone, Atmasnapanam, bathing of the self, Param, transcendental, Vijayate, let there be victory, Sri Krishna Sankirtanam, for the congregational chanting of the holy name of Krishna. So this is the translation, and then we'll speak a little about it. So please repeat after me. Let there be all victory for the chanting of the holy name of Lord Krishna, which can cleanse the mirror of the heart and stop the miseries of the blazing fire of material existence. That chanting is the waxing moon that spreads the white lotus of good fortune for all living beings. It is the life and soul of all education. The chanting of the holy name of Krishna expands the blissful ocean of transcendental life. It gives a cooling effect to everyone and enables one to taste full nectar at every step. So this is the first verse of the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sikshashtaka. And so I'm going to say a little about it, and then, we'll talk about how this fits in. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pishtaya Bhutale Srimate Tamal Krishna Goswaminiti Namani. So here, the acharyas are those personalities who understood spiritual life perfectly. And so perfectly that they could practice that spiritual life perfectly as well, and do one more thing, and that is, they could explain it to others so that they can understand spiritual life perfectly as well. And not only that they can understand that spiritual life perfectly, but that they can actually teach it to others perfectly. So that's called an acharya. So these acharyas, they actually prescribe that in this verse creates 7 flames. Now flames do 2 things. They burn and they also create. Like we can see that if a fire took place in a forest, then it can burn the forest down. That fire can burn the trees down. At the same time, we know that we use fire to make really nice food. Hare Krishnas are known for very nice food. We call it prasadam. In fact, we're known as the kitchen religion. In fact, I think there is no other religious system on the planet or anybody who has as many varieties of food as we have, even though we are totally vegetarian. and also from every culture. We are in 180 countries of the world, and we know how to make nice vegetarian food in each of those cultures. You can imagine, right? If you had a restaurant and it could serve the food of one culture every day, it would take 180 days to finish just the variety. And that would not be the variety of each culture anyway, because just like if you take the Indian culture has so many other cultures inside of it, the Gujarati culture, the Punjabi culture, the Bengali culture, and they have their own foods as well. And then they have their foods for summer, their foods for winter, for the seasons. They have their foods for breakfast, for lunch, for evening. They have the drinks part of it. So you can imagine so much variety just in one culture, right? So all this, the preparation of that food is done using fire, right? Using heat, fire, like that. So we can see fire does both. So what this fire does, this fire is described, the fire of 7 flames. And I'll explain the 7 flames. We actually read through them. And these 7 flames, what they do is they destroy our ignorance, completely destroy our ignorance, and equip us with the right knowledge so that we can actually become truly happy in our lives. Because in the Vedas, it is described, the Vedas are books of knowledge that describe the purpose of life. And the purpose in the Vedas, the purpose of life according to the Vedas, is to be blissful and to give bliss to others, to be happy and to give happiness to others. Because our soul is constructed of 3 energies, Sat, Chit, and Ananda. Sat means that it is eternal. Chit means that it is full of knowledge. And Ananda means that it is full of happiness, fully blissful. So ultimately, this third item, blissfulness, is the purpose of life. And so this purpose is actually achieved through these 7 flames, so that we can become truly happy, because the Lord is our Father, and just like those of us who are parents, we want our children to be truly happy, even happier than we are in our lives. This is the mark of a good parent. So Krishna describes himself in the Bhagavad Gita as Aham Bij Pradapitaha. I am the seed-giving father of all living entities. And so he, as the father, wants all of his children to be completely happy like that. So what are these 7 flames? So these 7 flames are described as, the first one that we read was that, let me put this light on again. Eyes are not as strong as they used to be at one time. So it's described that, let there be all victory for the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, Lord Krishna, which can, number 1, cleanse the mirror of the heart. Now we all know that the heart represents the arena of love. That is why even in this world we say, I heart you, meaning I love you, right? So this heart is described as the seat of love. And so in our heart, we have 2 hearts. We have the physical heart, which pumps the blood, etc. And then we have a spiritual heart, which is sitting in the center of the chest here. In that heart, there are 2 souls. The little soul, that's each and every one of the me in each and every one of us. And the largest soul is the super soul, the representation of Krishna. So Krishna and the soul are sitting in the heart. Now you might wonder, why do we say Krishna? Why don't we say Vishnu? Why don't we say whoever we might want to say? The idea is that Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is described in scriptures. Aham evasam evagre nanyad yat sadasat param. In the beginning, there was nobody else but Krishna. Then Krishna manifested from his right side, Lord Balaram, from his left, Radharani. Lord Balaram manifests the incarnations of Krishna, the expansions of Krishna. Radharani expands the whole creation, the spiritual, material worlds, and all the things and all the people in it, she actually manifests. So this is how everything works, like that. So when we actually pray to Krishna, you pray to the origin, the root of everything. Just like if you have a large tree and you want to water every leaf in that tree and every branch in that tree, the way to do it is to offer the water to the root. Then every leaf, every branch will get the water. And if you want to feed our body, then if we can get the food to the stomach, the food will reach every part of the body. The energy of the food will reach everywhere. This is the process. So this is why the Vedas describe this process. And so here it says here, let there be all victory for the chanting of the holy name of the Lord Krishna, of Lord Krishna, which can, 1, cleanse the mirror of the heart. So cleansing the mirror means that we are now getting rid of the ignorance in our heart. So just like if you want to look at yourself in the mirror, if the mirror is dirty, then you won't see the reflection. So in the same way, the idea is the mirror of our heart has been covered by the dust of ignorance. And so the chanting of Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, helps us cleanse the dust of the mirror. So now we can properly see ourselves as reflections of Krishna himself. We are his reflections. Every one of us, everything and everyone in this world has been manifested by Krishna and is a reflection of Krishna. So if the reflection wants to be happy, how do we make the reflection happy? By making the original person happy. If the original person smiles, then the reflection in the mirror will automatically smile. So this is something that we learn from this. There's more, but let's just go through this so we know the 7 flames. And then secondly, stops the miseries of the blazing fire of material existence. So in this world we see there is a lot of misery. There's an ocean of misery. If it's not one thing, it's something else that's bothering us. Like recently we had so much difficulty through the pandemic. So the pandemic caused us problems. Then sometimes our own mind causes us issues. Sometimes others cause us issues. Sometimes the weather causes us issues. Sometimes the boss causes issues. Sometimes the employee causes issues. So all sorts of miseries are flooding this world. It's an ocean of miseries. So how do we actually stop these miseries of the blazing fire of material existence? We do that by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Then the third flame is that chanting is the waxing moon that spreads the white lotus of good fortune for all living beings. Now, all living entities. So basically the idea is that in life, we're all looking for good fortune. Generally in Kali Yuga, people think good fortune means to be very wealthy. It is true that wealth will give a lot of happiness to people. There's no doubt about it. But wealth on its own doesn't fulfill all of the requirements of life. We still need love. I've found many people who are very, very wealthy, because I deal with a lot of them, and they're very miserable. They're still very miserable, even though they're very wealthy. Why? Because something else is bothering them in their life. Either the relationship between the spouses, or the relationship with the children, or with friends, or the government is giving them some trouble, or something other is up in their life, and they're feeling very miserable, like that. So we're all looking for the white lotus of good fortune in our lives. So the Hare Krishna Mahamantra actually gives us that. This is why if you speak to devotees who have been chanting Hare Krishna for some time, they will tell you that actually it is very true that in their lives have become much sweeter and much happier since they started chanting Hare Krishna. And that they would not, if I would ask the devotees, I'll give you $10 billion, just give up chanting Hare Krishna. I've done this in classes full of devotees, and you all devotees too. Not one devotee raised their hand and said, I'll take the $10 billion and I'll give up my chanting. But they find that their chanting is actually giving them so much happiness that even billions of dollars would not actually give them that satisfaction. And this is the nature of the chanting. Now, why does that happen? Why is it that happens? The answer is given by Lord Chaitanya in a verse in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. He says, Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatara Nama Hoita Hoya Sarva Jagata Nishtara. In this age of Kali, the holy name of the Lord, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, is the incarnation of Lord Krishna. Simply by chanting the holy name, one associates with the Lord directly. Anyone who does this is certainly delivered. So we can see that it's actually the chanting of the holy names that actually gives us the association of Krishna, like that. So this is why we should chant the holy name. And then, very quickly, the fourth is that it is the life and soul of all education. And we know how important education is in this world, right? It's where you learn what is good for you, not good for you, what can you do so that you can have a happy life. So this verse says the fourth flame is that the Hare Krishna mantra is the life and soul of all education. Number 5, the fifth flame is that the chanting of the holy name of Krishna expands the bliss of the ocean of transcendental life. So it actually is the one that gives us bliss, and not only bliss, but bliss all the way back to Godhead, so that we can again become the full capacity persons that we are in the spiritual world. We're no longer restricted that, as we are in prison, like that. And then the sixth flame is that it gives a cooling effect to everyone, because here in this world we're all overheated. So we need to chill. We need to cool off. So this gives a cooling effect. The chanting gives the cooling effect. And number 7, it enables one to taste full nectar at every step, which is what we want. We want real happiness at every step in our life, not that some steps go well and some don't go well. So these are the 7 flames of the Maha Mantra. And so the Hare Krishna movement actually promotes this. This is the purpose of the Hare Krishna movement. So now we're going to have some announcements, and then after the announcements, we're going to stand up and we're going to chant Hare Krishna, and the curtains are going to open, and the deities will get to see the deities, and then we'll do a nice kirtan in front of the deities, and you can sing and dance in front of the deities as well. So this is called a kirtan. And be happy, because this is the process. It is described that if anybody sings and dances in front of the deity of Lord Chaitanya, he personally promises, I will personally take you back to Godhead. I will take you back to that place where you will be not only truly happy, but you will be happy well beyond your wildest dreams. You can imagine whatever you want to imagine as happiness, and the happiness there is millions and millions of times greater than whatever you can imagine in your wildest dreams or most ecstatic dreams. Yes, Mother Nandini? Sure. Sure. Yes. Yes. Right. Nice. Right. 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 That's true. We really, really don't. Even those of us who think we get it, and we're chanting all the time, Hare Krishna, we still don't get the potency, the full potency of the holy name. But this is Krishna. How can you fully understand Krishna? Krishna is so amazing that as you understand him, you realize how little you understand him. Not how much you understood him, but how little you understood him. The more you understand him, the more you understand how little I really know Krishna. This is how great he is. There's an unlimited ocean of sweet qualities, and he's our Father. He's our beloved. He wants us to be happy. There is nobody who wants us to be happy as much as Krishna wants us to be happy. If we take all the love of every person in this world and put it together, it would not add up to a small fraction of the love that Krishna has for each and every one of us. This is how great a person is. So today we have the opportunity, and this is the greatness of the Hare Krishna movement. It gives us the opportunity to actually experience this love, whatever extent you want to experience it, based on how much you really want to experience. And then, over a period of time, you learn more and more and more. And now you're able to help others also learn this, just like Mother Nandini is obviously convinced. And so in her conviction, she can now convince others like that. And so we should become convinced of the love of Krishna. And then that we can then give to others. And the love of Krishna comes in the form of this mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you so very much. Hare Krishna. Okay, so now I'm just going to make a few announcements, and then we'll start with the kirtan. Curtains will open. Curtains may open at any time now. As the devotees are ready to open the curtain, they'll open the curtains. On behalf of our presiding deity, Shri Shri Radha Kalachandji, and all of the deities on our altar, and all of the devotees of our community, I'd like to welcome all of you to this Sunday festival program. We used to call this the Sunday Feast program, and then became a bigger program, and so we started calling it the Sunday Festival program. And Daru Krishna Prabhu one time was leading this program, and then you're the one who named it the Sunday Festival program, right? Okay, a number of devotees with you. Under your leadership, it became the Sunday Festival program. The idea of the Sunday Festival program is that one day, and we're hoping this year, by the time our 50th anniversary happens, our Sunday program will start in the morning and run till the evening. So that all day long, we're running a program, so that different categories of devotees and personalities who come here can all benefit from it in different ways and not feel that there's only one style of presentation of Krishna consciousness. We can have different styles of presentation, so different groups of people can become attracted based on their own culture, as opposed to just one cultural way of presenting things, like that. So, so this is the first, after in the pandemic, we actually stopped this program, and we went online totally. This is happening online, the cameras here, there's a camera there, there's cameras up here, and there's a camera at the back. They're all actually viewing what's happening, and it's being live streamed right now worldwide. And so what's going to happen is that over a period of time, more and more of this will be known to everybody. Right now, not everybody, even in Dallas-Fort Worth, know that this is being live streamed and that they can see it online, and that they can now come in person and also see it in person like that. So, and view it in person and experience it in person. So we're going to be doing that. And our next big festival that we're going to have after this, which is going to be a huge festival, is the festival of Govardhan Puja. So that's our next very, very big festival that we're going to have. In fact, there's one before that. It's called Dasera, which is Ramajit Sabha. It's the day when Lord Ram declared victory in his battle with Ravana. That's called Ramajit Sabha. So we're going to be celebrating Ramajit Sabha. It comes ahead of, a number of days ahead of Diwali and Govardhan Puja. But there's going to be a huge celebration. That's going to be in-person celebration. Is going to happen here. Of course, we'll have to do it in the park as well, because we can't fit everybody inside this room. Whenever we have very large festivals, the temple room will be open, but the park will also have festivals going on, so that more people can participate, because this room is a little small. Also, at the same time, we're looking this year to restructure the temple, the management structure of the temple, so that we can now come to the current state of where we are. We used to run the temple in a certain way in the past, because that was the way that we were trained and asked to run the temple. But Prabhupada did expect that as time went on, structures will change to suit the public, to suit the way we do things lately. And so more and more devotees will now be participating in the management of the temple, taking care of different parts of what the temple is, and our preaching structure is, our outreach structure is. Our outreach will grow much more powerful. And to that extent, I'd like to announce today that we are starting a new temple in North Dallas. And we're hoping it's going to be in Frisco. We're actually looking to buying land there. And right now, our people are looking for the land there, and they're going to find the land. They're already devotees own land in that area. And we're speaking to them too, if they can just give us 10 acres of land. And our idea is to build a number of houses there, so that devotees can stay in the houses, have their own apartments to live in. And then we have buildings where one building is dedicated just to singing and dancing, and that we're calling it Song and Dance Therapy, so people can come and they can enjoy singing and dancing and become happy in their lives. And another building, these are very large buildings, like this is a very small, the Song and Dance building will be 10,000 square feet, which will be 100 feet by 100 feet. You can imagine how big that is, and how many people can get inside that building and have a nice sing and dance. Literally thousands of people can get in and do it. If you have been to the Mayapur temple, the Mayapur temple is not 100 by 100, any one section. This is bigger than that. So there'll be the next building will be 100 square foot, same 100 by 100 for just food. That'll just be food, serving food all the time, doing different food programs. The third one will be like a bit of a temple and a meditation place and yoga and things being taught there. also 100 by 100. So all these buildings are 100 by 100. The fourth building will be like a library building, but there we're going to teach classes and things like that so people can learn what is Krishna consciousness. They can learn about real life. And then the fifth building is a community hall, so weddings can happen there, quinceanera dances can happen there, balls can happen there, things like that, because we'll be there for all communities, not just the Indian community. So what happens is with this combination, we will come closer to the culture of the United States of America, so everybody can participate in a way that's encouraging to them. And the programs will run longer. They'll all be, again, live streamed all the time so that people around the world can see like that. And so actually, these are some developments happening. And by the way, the other centers also talking now. The devotees in Irving are talking about setting up a center in Irving and other places. So multiple centers will develop. This will be the mothership. This is where they'll get training so they can learn deity worship, they can learn giving classes, they can learn kirtan, they can learn different things. And then they go out and do it in their own areas so people can come to their places closer to themselves. They don't have to travel as far as to come here. And this is a very small building. We don't want to break it down. One idea was break it down, make it bigger, but actually we will lose its charm if we do that. This building has a lot of history, a lot of sweet history. The energy you're feeling inside here is the result of all of the wonderful devotees who have practiced their Krishna consciousness, done singing and dancing, heard classes, so many wonderful things that have happened in this small space. It's now become imbued with that energy, right? So we don't want to lose that energy. We want to maintain that energy. So then it'll have to be a smaller one, which means fewer people can be here. And of course, when the crowds become bigger, we're going to start moving crowds so that you can move and come and go, because unfortunately everybody can't stand here all the time. Today we are very fortunate. You can sit here, hear a whole class, have a lot of darshan. Take advantage of it while you can, because it is going to become very busy. You know, we are finding newer and newer ways of opening up and doing things in a way where the crowds can come in and do things in a very nice way. Okay, so thank you all for coming. For those of you who have come for the first time, if you can put your hands up, first timers. Yes, very nice. Can you just tell us a little about yourselves? Ma'am, go ahead. Vidaksha, yes. Born in Nepal, nice. Okay. welcome to the temple. And have a
Exactly. Hare Krishna. Absolutely. Thank you for that. Good to see you too. Jaya Radha Kalachandji Radha Kalachandji Radhe. Jaya Radha Kalachandji Radha Kalachandji Radhe. Jaya Radha Kalachandji Radha Kalachandji Radhe. Yeah. Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jagannath Jaya Jagannath Jaya
Baladev Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Jagannatha, Jagannatha, Baladeva Jaya Subhadra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Shri Radha Kalashakti. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadhi Ashtacha Deshatarine Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda. Prabhu Nityananda, Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda. Prabhu Nityananda, Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Gaura Hare. Oh, Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Gaura Hare. Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Gaura Hare. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Shiva Jaya, Jaya Gaura Chandre, Aroti ke Shobha. Janave tatavane jagamanalobha. Dakininitai chan Bombay Gadadhara. Nikate Advaita Shini Vasa Chatadara. Boche ache Gaurachan Radna Simhasane. Arati kare na Brahma Adhi devagane. Nara Hari Hari kore Chamara Dulaya. Sanjaya Mukunda Basu Goshadhikaya. Sanka baje, ganta baje, baje karatala. Madhura mridhanga baje, Paramarasala. Baho kote Chandra jine Vadana ujvala. Gala deshe vanamala Kore jalamala. Shiva Sukana Radha Preme Gada Gadha Bhakti Vinodha Deke Gaura Rasapadha Gorangera Rote Shobha Jaga Janamana Lobha Gorangera Rote Shobha Jaga Janamana Lobha Shanka Bajhe Ghanta Bajhe Madhur 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 Bajhe Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladev, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Radha Govinda, Radha Govinda Radhe. Jaya Radha Govinda, Radha Govinda Radhe. Jaya Radha Kalashakti, Radha Kalashakti Radhe. Jaya Radha Kalashakti, Radha Kalashakti Radhe. Jaya Radha Kalashakti, Radha Kalashakti Radhe. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Gurudeva, 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 Jaya Gurudeva. Shri Shri Radha Kalashakti ki, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki, Shri Shri Gaurnidhai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivajacharya Stotra Shishmaris Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivajacharya Stotra Shishmaris Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki. Anantakoti Vaishnavrinda ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवाश्री गौर भक्तवृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गो गो गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की श्री वृंदावन धाम की श्री नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की श्री गंगा माई की श्री जमुना माई की श्री भक्ति देवी की श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की Shri Harinam Sankirtan Yagya ki, ISKCON's founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Kalashakti Dham ki jai. All glories to some devotees, all glories to some devotees, all glories to some devotees, and all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Hiranyakashipu Raksha Hiranyakashipu Raksha Singha Bharato Singha Tato Yato Yami Tato Singha Yato Yato Yami Tato Singha Vayena Singha Hidayena Singha Vayena Singha Hidayena Singha Madim Sharanam Prabhadai Narsingamadim Sharanam Prabhadai Tavakara Kamala Vare Advaita Singam Darita Hiranyakashipu Tanubingam Keshavadita Harahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Kara Kamala Vare Nakam Advaita Singam Darita Hiranyakashipu Tanubingam Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jagadish Hare. नरसिंह भगवान की जय।
You want us to get you a plate of shot or anything? Good?